My name is Michael Brooks. I'm a multiple disability teacher, 7th and 8th grade at Ridgway Middle School. I thought the presentation was powerful because it provided very interesting feats of normal objects, things that people understand to be indestructible or very resilient, and showed that through training, something that was once seemed impossible is very tangible. And it's not like an easy feat to accomplish, and it requires a great deal of work. I like the connection with the cards. Adding one card a day until you could rip the entire deck seemed like a clear fit to what we do as educators. Kind of build one step at a time, and before you know it, at the end you can do something that you couldn't think you could do before.
Going off what Mike said, John Listino, school psychologist and counselor, Edgewater Park Schools. Done this work for about 40 plus years, and this was one of the best presentations I've been to in a long time. And here's the reasons why I liked it. One is it wasn't abstract, it was concrete, real things kids saw, the teachers saw, that were really evident that if you put your mind to it, it can be tough, but you can work it out. Like Mike said, the card technique, the idea about one card at a time, increasing your ability to handle a more complex issue is really important. I like the three parts that you talk about: the individual, the group, and the mindset. That if you keep working on this in a specific fashion, you can get better at it. But like we all know, Thomas Edison didn't fail the thousands of times. He failed many different ways that he knew how to do the light bulb better. I think your engagement with the kids was really nice. It was calm, relaxed, and it also showed our youngsters interested. There was a quiet laughter and ooh factor that doing things in front of the youngsters is just fantastic. You can say, there's an old saying, after all is said and done, there's a lot more said than done. And what you proved, you could do this action right in front of everybody. So I really, really like that. And the background information you talked about in terms of a very important issue related to attention challenges in all youngsters and adults, and how you work on that. Proper use of medication, but also the proper use of motivation, I would imagine training, etc. And the other part about interpersonal relations, that the more that you're assertive, there's less of a chance for that harassment, intimidation factor to occur. That as you became more assertive, and I would think really self-agency, that you knew that wasn't going to happen as much. There's a really big part of that in the whole bullying issue. Like, where do we draw the line, right, Mike? Where conflict is, where...
Right, I think in sharing the stories about yourself, you provided to be very accessible to the kids. I think also the fact that it was very real in passing like the items out, to feel these powerful items, something like you said, like people assume can't be done. And so the mental component to where you were able to lift more with your eyes closed because you never thought you couldn't do it. These are all things that we honestly say a lot. We say a lot of times to kids, you know what I mean? But to practice what you preach, this would be a pure example of something I would assume I could not do. I know the ability of my mind and what I can learn and not learn, but I would assume I can't bend a wrench, and or we assume humans can't bend wrench. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we assume that we as humans can't do these things, and when it becomes real, I think it's the perfect connection to being able to attain something you thought was, like undoable. You've done the undoable. And I guess basically by presenting like the kids with stories of your life and kind of letting them know how you used to be, might have helped them relate, in different ways, that they might have just thought they were going to see some pretty amazing things happen. I think it became less gimmicky and more a part of you, and your personality showed, rather than just the feats of strength. You know what I mean? So it's a great way to lure them in with the feats of strength, but actually provide a deep connection there too. So.
And just one other addition to that Mike makes me think of, it's showing vulnerability. it's okay to be less than perfect, but you can work on these things. And as Mike knows, and our students, we really are interested in what students think about themselves. It's a major important factor in this school. We have a whole initiative on mindset. Mike and I are part of the student support committee for our stakeholders group, and it's a great meeting, and we like working with the kids around this stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you,
Great.
Eric. Appreciate all your work and your support. I'd like to have you come back again.
I would love to be back.
Okay.
Sure.